Okay, so I'm going to review the first season of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Uh, I'm going to be using Anime Planet, say, kind of screenshots from the anime, just to kind of show you what it's all about. So shout out to animeplanet.com. Right, basically what this anime is about, the first series is these two blocks here. Young with the blue hair, blue purple hair, Jonathan Joestar, and the guy with the blonde hair and the mask, Dio. Now, the first episode is called Dio the Invader, which basically is, as it says, Dio comes into Jonathan's life and completely destroys his life by, and this may upset and trigger a lot of people, but what he does is what he does is he appears at the Joestar mansion and he basically doesn't walk out of the carriage like a normal person would. He jumps out of it, all dramatic like. And I'm like, great. From that, I can see that this character is going to be a complete and utter douchebag from the way he exited the carriage that brought him there. So I mean, through like the year, like the months and all that they show that Dio was there, Dio was there at the Joestar mansion is because I'm thinking it's a descendant of the Joestar family, not descendant, ancestor, or whatever, the ones before the current people, whatever that's called. Dio's dad finds this guy that he thinks is dead, but he's not. And because he thinks that the robber, Dio's dad, is there to save him, he says that my family will be forever indebted to the Brando family. And I'm taking it that when Dio's dad says that the only people that survived the carriage crashing off the side of the mountain was, I might be wrong about that though, was the baby boy. Obviously because the mum died, obviously instantly on impact probably, and the dad died as well after he had given his thanks to Dio's dad. And obviously we don't get to know who the kid is in the carriage, but obviously it's Dio when he was a baby. Or it could have been Jonathan, I don't know. They never really state that, or they do, and I probably missed it. But anyway, as soon as Dio gets there to the mansion, after his dad dies in the previous scene, because his dad says that well, basically what he's saying between the lines is my dying wish is for you to be rich and successful. And it flashes forward to when Dio is standing over his dad's grave, and the complete disrespectful a-hole that Dio is, he spits on his dad's grave and said that basically what he was doing was he was saying that he was completely disgusted with his father and the way he did things. And I'm like, oh, that's a little bit disrespectful. But obviously back to when I was saying about when Dio arrived at the Joestar mansion. He arrives there in the way he does. And for some strange reason Dio gets into his head that he can play the fool, or the stuck up a-hole, and he says to Jonathan's dad that the dog was going to have him, like run at him, and he reacted by kicking it. And I'm like, it's a good thing that this anime here didn't come out today. It wasn't released today, because that wouldn't fly. And obviously we all know that the dog didn't fly at Dio. And I mean, it's understandable if the dog did, because Dio was a complete and utter arsehole from the get-go. But obviously when they're grown up and all that, Dio makes a point of kind of taking everything away from Jonathan, to make him angry and everything, to obviously ostracize him and all that kind of stuff. It comes to basically when you're a little bit older and they're more buff, like they've obviously like older, like kind of well looked after, that they're like doing this kind of like boxing match kind of thing. And Dio wins by playing dirty. He basically punches Jonathan in the face, to win, because that's what Jonathan says, that's what the rules will be. But though, it wasn't Jonathan, or was it one of the guys that were holding the event? I can't remember. But what Dio does is spiteful. He punches him in the face, but as he's doing that, he's got his fist in his cheek. He takes his thumb and pokes it in his eye, and I'm like, that's dirty. That's damn dirty. And as you can gather, all the way through their like time together, they were like Dio was like the evil big brother. That's all about me and all that kind of nonsense. And then it was like, for some reason, Dio had found the stone mask, and he had realised that when Jonathan had went to London to get the proper medicine to help his dad, because his dad was on like death's door, that the mask had powers to take life from people, make them zombies, and then obviously give him that power. So I mean, obviously Dio uses the mask and turns himself to what he is in later seasons. But that's what always got me though, because they showed how said vampire things that they turn into suck blood by putting their fingers in their face and their hair and that or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's an interesting way of doing it, but I thought that vampires were meant to bite you, to suck the blood out of you. But anyway, the journey continues kind of later on in that. And this fella, Speedwagon, Jonathan meets him, then they become best buddies. He's kind of like how I see Speedwagon is he's basically like the king to Saitama from One Punch Man Season 2, and Hercule from Dragon Ball. They obviously meet this guy as well that, I don't know if they've got pictures. This is obviously all the kind of, this is the lassie that Jonathan ends up marrying. I mean, obviously Dio is a complete douchebag and kisses her first, so he takes away her first kiss. So that, I mean, obviously he's doing everything he can to wind up Jonathan. Also, that's the thing that Dio finds out that can. Is that the thing that Dio finds out what the mask turns folk into? I can't remember. Yeah, this is when the final battle happens. Well, one of the final battles. Jonathan faces Dio in the mansion that's going up in flames. And I think that Jonathan outsmarts him when they're falling from the top of the building. From the roof, obviously. And Dio basically ends up impaled. with the fire going up around him, and I think he's completely melted, like disintegrated. But I mean, what I've learned from what else I've seen is no matter what they do to Dio, he comes back constantly. And I'm like, that kind of reminds me of Dracula, which is weird. Now, obviously, this picture shows you how much of a douchebag Dio was when he was a kid, teenager, and obviously what he is now, from where I left it. Yeah, this is vampire form. Jonathan before he got serious. And this is the mask that I was talking about. What I basically did was you put blood in it, and it grabs your face like a face hugger thing from Alien. And it sucks life out of you and turns you into a zombie and all that kind of stuff. But long story short, I'm glad that at the end, Jonathan managed to partly beat Dio, but, and I say a huge but, he basically thinks that everything's done, and he's starting off a new life with his wife. But lo and behold, Dio is in the coffin in the cargo hold, and it all goes south. The zombies kill his mum, but she falls down to where they're fighting, and the baby's still alive, obviously. Dio's minion grabs one of the shafts in the engine room to basically blow up the boat. Eventually, the wife, or Jonathan, gets away with the baby. And it was a beautiful moment between Jonathan and Dio. Dio basically holds on to, not Dio. Jonathan obviously grabs onto Dio's head, and Dio's like, no, let me go, I don't want to die here, and all that kind of stuff, or whatever they said. And Dio was talking away to Jonathan, and then Dio looks up and looks at Jonathan and is like, huh, Jonathan's passed away. And then obviously Dio was basically being held by a dead man. And I'm like, yeah. Obviously the ship blew up, or something happened to it, and Dio obviously survived. Obviously because he's the anime version of Dracula. But the wife survives, and she takes the Wayne with her. And they're eventually found because they're in the middle of the ocean in a coffin, Dio's coffin, but it's not shut. They use it like a little boat. And basically the nice touching moment at the end of the first series is the wife says that no one will know Jonathan's story. I will have to tell them. And then obviously it flashes forward to the next part where Jonathan's wife is really old, and there's another Joestar that they meet. So yeah, very good story, compacted into 10 episodes. Well, less than that. I'm glad they chose to do the story properly, to be honest, and none of this kind of silly like plot armor that they normally put in anime like this. And I can see why some of the reviewers, when they're reviewing it, said that there's not any plot armor in this, because there's not. People die and that is it. None of this kind of revival stuff, apart from Dio, obviously, because he's immortal apparently, up until later on. But like I said, I'll cover that when I get to it in the next video. Yeah, and I feel like I've been talking at 100 miles an hour for this video, so I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for joining me. If you want to see the next video, then subscribe, like, turn on the notification bell so you'll be able to see the next JoJo review that I do. Hopefully I'm heading towards Stardust Crusaders. Aye, I think so. But anyway, see you next time.